Welcome back, everyone, to The Deep Dive. I'm Cree Wildshape, an aspiring mage from the Academy of Magic, and I'm just really thrilled to explore some truly unique corners of the Forgotten Realms with you today.
And I'm Arn, barbarian trainee from the Academy of Fighters. Less fuss, more facts. Let's get stuck in.
That's the spirit. Now, for those of you joining us for the first time, you might be wondering just how we manage this whole live stream across the plains.
Magic nonsense.
Well, it's a marvel of ingenuity and naturally a good deal of magic. Our camera, for instance, is a telecrystal mirror. Sometimes it's a bit fuzzy, maybe.
Bit fuzzy, like looking through a pub window on a foggy morn.
Yeah, yes, exactly. Part of the charm, eh? But it always gets the job done.
It works. And this illusionist band we're wearing. Proper bit of kit this is.
It really is. Little glowing strands of silver wire subtly woven.
Yeah, making sure you can hear every grunt, every whisper, and every insightful comment, or just comments anyway.
And for your thoughts, your questions, your very important magic mail, it's a truly elegant system. Simply send a sending spell with a few gold coins attached.
Costly, but effective.
And your message appears right on our screen as a glowing scroll, majestically unrolling itself. It's incredibly satisfying, and we genuinely love hearing directly from you, our insightful listeners. All right, before we plunge into today's main event, you've been practically buzzing about the Iron Fists all week.
Buzzing. Just stating facts.
Okay, stating facts then. What's got you so riled up about their latest victory this time? Tell us all about it like it was a championship match.
Riled up? Nah. Just impressed. The Iron Fists, right? Out in Sunstone Woods. Proper job that was. Bandits plaguing the place, causing no end of trouble for locals. Farmers, traders, you know.
Mm-hmm. Classic problem.
So their signature play. None of this sneaking about with illusions and whatnot. No.
Oh.
Full frontal assault.
Oh, of course.
A barbarian-led thunderous charge straight into the thick of it. Just shattered the enemy's front line like brittle ice. Yeah. Bandit leader, big half-orc, nasty axe, down in a flash.
Wow. Quick.
Raw power, pure grit. That's what it is. He just took the hits, absorbed every blow, and dished out twice the punishment. Woods cleared, bounty collected. That's how you get things done. No messing about.
Raw power, pure grit, you say. I saw the reports, though. I'd call it more like, well, unsustainable resource consumption, eh?
Unsustainable what now?
Think about it. The property damage, the widespread disruption, the potential for collateral injury to the very people they were supposed to be protecting. It all seems a bit much, a bit messy.
Messy. It's a fight. Fights are messy. You want clean. Go polish your spell book.
Well, speaking of clean, my favorites, the Arcane Alliance, just demonstrated what I consider the cleanest, most efficient play of the year.
Oh, here we go. The Spell Slingers.
They successfully retrieved the Whispering Key from the notoriously well-guarded Mortis's Tower. It was, honestly, a surgical display of magical prowess.
Surgical. Nonsense, that.
They bypassed every single defense with breathtaking precision and efficiency. It was amazing.
Or they got a new wizard in their ranks. Promising talent, they called him. Sounds like a useless ham roll to me, that one.
A ham roll? Why?
Just stats on paper in it. No real output when it counts. All that fancy spell casting. And for what? To just disintegrate a locked door. The proper barbarian could have kicked that in faster. And with less fuss. What's the point of all that studying if you're just replacing a strong boot? Honestly.
But that's precisely where it gets really interesting. Their approach was far more nuanced than just kicking the door in.
Nuanced.
Yes. They used a sophisticated combination of illusions and subtle enchantments. They got into the tower completely unseen, unheard. Imagine that. Bypassing multiple layers of security, magical and mundane, without a single alarm.
All right, sneaky. I'll give them that.
Then, yes, their new wizard, with impressive control, used a powerful arcane blast. But it wasn't some destructive, haphazard explosion like you might imagine.
Wasn't it?
No. It was precise, contained. It disintegrated just the locking mechanism of that door. That, my friend, is a zero-contact victory.
Zero contact. Sounds boring.
It's clean, elegant, non-violent execution, no messy brawls, no unnecessary destruction of historical artifacts, no expensive healing potions or equipment repair needed afterward. From a practical standpoint, thinking about resource management, long-term sustainability, that's highly efficient adventuring.
Efficient?
Yeah.
You call that efficient? Standing about casting fancy spells while I'm out there absorbing blows from half-orcs. Sounds like a good way to get a poke in the eye while you're waving your hands about, muttering.
Size.
Give me a good axe and a clear target any day. That's efficiency of a different kind. gets the job done.
Perhaps, but sometimes the brain is mightier than the brawn, wouldn't you agree?
Depends on the brain, doesn't it?
It allows for solutions that avoid direct confrontation, preserving resources, and, well, one's physical integrity.
Only if you've got a proper brain, one that doesn't overthink every swing. There's a time for thinking and a time for smashing. And sometimes, smashing is the quickest path. No messy brawls. Sometimes a good brawl is exactly what's needed, sends a clear message in it.
Okay, maybe we can agree to disagree on optimal strategies for now. Before we delve deeper into today's intriguing subject, and maybe continue this later, a quick word from our wonderful sponsor.
Right. Sponsors.
Today's deep dive is brought to you by the Curious Cauldron. They're Neverwinter's premier spot for potions, elixirs, and, well, all things liquid. They've been kind enough to send us some of their latest creation, the Swiftness Slams.
Oh, these are proper good, these. Tried one this morning.
You did? What did you think?
Give you a burst of speed for a short time, they do. Felt like I could outrun a startled deer. Good for a quick escape, or a thunderous charge right into the enemy lines, eh?
You've hit it. That versatility is key for any adventurer, whether you're focused on raw power and a direct assault, or, as some of us prefer, tactical retreats and quick positioning for a spell.
Or just getting away sharpish.
Exactly. Perfect for adventurers on the go. Dodging a dragon's breath, sprinting through a collapsing dungeon, or just trying to make it to class on time here at the Academy.
I could use one for that sometimes.
So for all your liquid needs, healing drafts, potent buffs, swing by the Curious Cauldron, tell them Academy Live sent you. Now, before we immerse ourselves in our main topic today, a brief but important content warning for you.
Right, the sensitive bit.
Yes. Today's deep dive involves a specific member of a company we're discussing who has a rather, well, a sensitive past. To protect their identity, maintain their privacy, we're going to be using a cover name throughout this segment. A true nom de guerre, a name of war or disguise, if you will.
Makes sense.
We'll be referring to him simply as the shifty fella.
Good call. Wouldn't want any old trouble stirred up, would we? Some pasts are best left buried deep.
Precisely. And just in case we happen to slip up, accidentally let something significant get out, we've got a subtle but incredibly powerful suggestion spell working diligently in the background. It's quite intricate, actually. Kindly provided by our esteemed instructor, Arturo Fonlini.
Fonlini. Knows his stuff, that one.
He certainly does. It's designed to ensure that if any sensitive details were accidentally mentioned, everyone listening would simply forget.
Mind scrambled? Lovely.
It's a remarkable piece of magic, yes. So, if you're sensitive to enchantment spells, or if you simply don't want to risk frying your noggin with something potentially risky,
maybe give this bit a miss.
You might want to skip this particular segment, yes. But for the rest of you, prepare for a deep dive into something truly unique, and perhaps a little mysterious. Okay, let's get to the main event. Today, we're doing a deep dive into the Expeditionsgesellschaft der Vergessenen Reiche.
Or, catchy name.
Or for you common-speaking folk, the Expeditionary Society of the Forgotten Realms. Now, when we first started looking into this organization, what immediately struck you as different? Because for me, it wasn't just what they were doing, but how they were doing it right from the top. Let's start with the key players, the ones who shaped this vision.
Well, what struck me was they're not just some random bunch you meet in a tavern, right? They've got a proper setup, like a guild, but different. More business-like, serious.
Exactly.
And these leaders, they're not just strong fighters or clever mages banging heads together. They've got a plan, a structure.
That's it, exactly. The sources describe them as a motley but exceptionally determined group. Their overarching vision is quite grand, exploring long-forgotten places, recovering lost treasures, uncovering ancient secrets. All the good stuff.
Standard adventuring goals, then.
Yes, but they operate under a rather inspiring motto, one that I find quite profound. Where others see danger, we see opportunity.
Sounds a bit soft, that motto. Danger's danger. Often it just needs a good punch, not an opportunity assessment.
Fackles, maybe. But it's such a positive, proactive stance, eh? In a world often dominated by fear and reaction.
All right. So who are the big cheeses behind this, then? Who's steering this expeditionary boat?
Excellent question. The founding members, who also form their governing board, are quite the collection, a real mix of talents and personalities.
Let's hear it.
First up, we have Trafalgar Newgate, human, bard.
A bard, leading.
Yes, he's described as the heart and voice of the society. A true leader and visionary. Trafalgar is known for his sharp mind, skillful words, and an undeniable talent for strategic planning.
Strategic planning from a bard.
Huh. His charisma is apparently legendary, allows him to persuade or at least artfully confuse people, which you can imagine is incredibly useful dealing with, well, anyone really. Wary villagers, suspicious guards, maybe even dragons.
Confuse people. Sounds about right for a bard.
He's the one who's truly grown this group from just an idea into a genuinely prosperous company. What do you make of that? A bard as the strategic leader. Is that common?
Common. No way. Usually they're singing about the heroes not being the main planner. Most bards I've met. Good for a laugh, a song, bit of moral support maybe, but strategic planning. Company growth. That's unusual. Sounds like he's got more than just pretty words going for him then. Probably a bit too smooth for my liking, but can't argue with the results, I suppose, if they're actually prosperous.
Right. Then there's Yacid Ben Brika El Malouf, a tiefling warlock.
Tiefling warlock, okay. Trouble brewing.
He's the meticulous bookkeeper, the scrupulous secretary, and the diligent administrator of their finances. Very detail-oriented. Sharp pen for contracts, even sharper eye for the gold purse. Make sure every single coin is accounted for.
A bean counter. Every group needs one, I suppose. Even if he is a tiefling.
But don't let the image of ledgers and spreadsheets fool you. He also draws on sinister powers from the void when needed.
Void powers. Knew it. Creepy.
His sigil, the company's emblem, is quite intricate. A hexagonal shield with an ancient key, a crescent moon, and a lamp. It symbolizes his vast knowledge and, significantly, his Jinni pact.
I heard about him. Bit creepy his powers are. All that talk of Jinn and the void, not natural, that. I'd rather face an ogre barehanded than whatever dark magic he's dabbling in. Makes my skin crawl, it does.
Creepy is certainly one way to put it, but think about the implications. Yacid's connection to a Jinni pact and powers from the void isn't just unsettling. It speaks to a truly unique wellspring of arcane might. A Jinni pact that often involves a bound elemental, maybe even a contract with a powerful genie. Immense arcane strength, but often at a steep cost or with tricky obligations, right?
Sounds like a bad deal waiting to happen.
And the void in this context, it could mean the elemental plane of air, a realm of incredible power, or maybe even darker cosmic energies from beyond the known planes. Which means his magic might not just be powerful, but unpredictable, potentially dangerous if not carefully managed.
Exactly. Dangerous.
It adds a formidable yet potentially perilous edge to the society's roster, don't you think? Maybe his meticulous nature as a treasurer is actually a necessary counterbalance to the chaos of his power source. Keeps things in check.
Maybe. Sounds like a ticking bomb waiting to go off, if you ask me. Best to keep a wide berth from that kind of magic. Dangerous stuff.
Okay, next we have the shifty fella. That's Andric Foghands, halfling. Thief.
Figures. Always a shifty one in the mix.
He's presented as a cunning treasure hunter with a mischievous smile, often seen lurking in shadows. An undisputed expert in cracking chests, disarming intricate traps, uncovering secrets hidden in plain sight.
Good skills to have, I suppose, if you can trust him.
Well, our sources do say his motives aren't always entirely clear, a characteristic often associated with his trade, perhaps. But Trafalgar, the bard leader, seems to possess a unique knack for keeping him engaged and aligned with the society's goals. He's definitely crucial for their delicate operations, infiltration, acquisition, that sort of thing.
Shifty indeed. Sounds like a proper sneak. Always got to keep an eye on those types. Useful for getting into locked places, maybe, but not someone you'd want watching your back at a proper stand-up fight. Probably nick your boots while you're down.
Laughs, perhaps. And finally, rounding out the board, we have Cardus, Firebeard, Marblebreaker, Dwarf, Paladin.
Ah, now we're talking. A dwarf paladin. Solid.
He's unequivocally described as the shield of the company, a bastion of strength driven by a burning sense of honor and justice. His faith is unwavering, providing a moral compass for the group. And he has a distinct penchant for dramatic, heroic action. You know, a real frontline kind of guy. Stalwart defender.
Now he sounds like a proper adventurer. A paladin with a burning sense of justice. Good man. Someone you'd trust in a dark dungeon or when the fighting gets thick. Finally, someone with a bit of straightforward sense in this lineup.
So, quite a team, eh? Bard, warlock, thief, paladin. What's truly interesting here, though, and frankly groundbreaking for an adventuring group, is their formal structure.
Right. The paperwork bit.
They operate under an official association agreement, a comprehensive document signed in Neverwinter in DR 1481, formally witnessed by Neth Pranters and Pulstern of the Guild of Scribes and Clerks.
Guild of Scribes.
Yeah.
Fancy.
This isn't just about looking professional, you see. It's a fundamental shift in risk management and talent retention. Think about it. Traditional adventuring. High risk, high reward, sure, but often ends in bankruptcy, injury, death for the unprepared, total chaos.
It's a rough life.
By formalizing their purpose and governance, they're creating a sustainable, long-term enterprise, something that can last. This agreement clearly defines their purpose. Dangerous missions, treasure recovery, promoting member interests. That includes cooperation, camaraderie, and critical knowledge transfer between members.
Sharing secrets, eh? Smart.
The 4 founders serve as the supreme governing authority. They hold positions like chairman, deputy, treasurer, secretary, all determined by democratic election.
Democratic amongst adventurers. That's new.
Think about it, though. Clearly defined roles mean less internal conflict over who's in charge. Democratic elections foster buy-in from everyone, and a formal address lends undeniable credibility. And get this, their official business address, a P.O. box in Waterdeep.
Waterdeep, eh? That's where the big money is. Proper city.
Exactly. What does having a formal, recognized address in a major city like Waterdeep signify for a group like this?
It means they're not just squatting in some tavern basement, are they? It means they're legit, at least on paper. Sounds like you mean business, quite literally. It's a smart move. They can get proper mail, contracts, maybe even bank accounts without using some shifty contact in an alley.
Yeah.
Makes them look proper to the big wigs, the ones with the real coin, the real jobs to offer.
Precisely. It allows them to take on larger, more lucrative, often politically sensitive contracts that a ragtag group could only dream of. They're professionalizing an inherently chaotic profession, offering a stability that's truly unprecedented. So with such a structured approach, what have they actually done? Have they lived up to the hype?
Yeah, all this structure is no good if they just sit around polishing shields, is it?
Well, our sources detail quite a few notable adventures. Many stem from what they call the Stormwreck Isles saga. Sounds quite dramatic, eh? It seems to be a foundational series of exploits that really cemented their cohesion and unique methods.
Stormwreck Isle. Sounds nasty.
It all started with something relatively small, but maybe indicative. Solving the mystery of the missing rum on the crossing to the island.
Missing rum. Now
Yeah.
that is a serious problem.
Turns out it involved fake barrels and a few excessively festive crew members. I imagine it provided a good laugh for everyone except perhaps Cardis. The straight-laced paladin probably wasn't amused.
Waste of good rum, that. But I can see how solving something like that early on gets them working together. Better than a bloody nose over a spilled pint, I suppose. Builds teamwork right.
Then, on the very beach of Stormwreck Isle, they faced their first major test as a united force. Defeating undead remains of drowned sailors. The battle against the ship zombies.
Ship zombies.
Yeah.
Nasty work. Good test.
And apparently it wasn't just a simple hack and slash, it was an impressive demonstration of their cooperation, even early on. Blending Cardis's frontline power, Trafalgar's tactical guidance, Yasid's arcane support, and the shifty fella's ability to pinpoint weak spots. They handled it with a calculated ease, apparently.
Calculated ease against zombies. Sounds like they knew what they were doing.
Moving inland, they had some truly important interactions at Dragon's Rest Monastery. It's a cloister overseen by Elder Runara, who is, get this, an adult bronze dragon in human form.
A dragon. Running a monastery. All right, that's different.
Yeah, and here they didn't just fight, they forged alliances. They met Tarak, a wise botanist, Varnoth, a gruff but surprisingly empathetic historian, and a whole community of loyal, resourceful kobolds.
Kobolds, usually just pests.
These included Blep, Layli, Mumpo, Rix, and Mila the Tinkerer. These characters and their knowledge proved absolutely crucial later on. It shows the society's knack for building a network, making contacts, not just leaving a trail of destruction.
So they made friends with the dragon and a bunch of kobolds. Clever, I suppose. Less fighting, more talking. Usually means fewer broken bones for them. Though I still prefer a good dragon fight, mind you. Keeps you sharp.
Well, they followed that up by liberating the Seagro caves from 2 oppressive smoke dragons who were terrorizing the peaceful Myconids living there.
Smoke dragons. And Myconids. Weird mix.
Yasid, ever the meticulous chronicler, even recorded this event in an epic verse he titled, "The Smoke and the Mushroom."
Snorts. The smoke and the mushroom. Seriously. Sounds like a bad trip.
I know, it's delightful. But this mission really showcased their diverse approach. They used not just brute force, but also Yasid's knowledge of elemental creatures and Trafalgar's diplomatic efforts to understand the smoke dragon's motivations before engaging. Smart, eh?
2 smoke dragons, though. That's proper fighting, that is. Sounds like they actually got their hands dirty there. Maybe they're not all talk and no trousers after all. Befriended 1 dragon, fought 2 more. That gets my respect. A bit, anyway.
Then, aboard a truly cursed vessel, they face the harrowing Battle of the Compass Rose, a relentless horde of harpies and zombies. Sounds terrifying.
Harpies and zombies on a ship. That's just asking for trouble.
The clash ultimately led to the recovery of the valuable Alethus talisman. A classic high-stakes adventure, right? But what's noteworthy is how they secured it. Not just through combat, but likely through precise maneuvering and strategic thinking to isolate and retrieve the artifact amidst the chaos.
Strategy again. Suppose it works sometimes.
But one of the most unprecedented feats, according to the sources, was taming the owlbear.
Taming an owlbear? Wait, what? Taming an owlbear? Are they mad?
Apparently. Though, tellingly, the shifty fella later called it the stupidest thing we've ever done.
I'll bet he did. Now that does sound stupid. Owlbears are for smashing, not for taming, aren't they? They're unpredictable, vicious beasts. What in the nine hells were they thinking?
Well, think about it. Taming an owlbear is truly unprecedented. Most adventurers would just draw weapons, right? Neutralize the threat. The sheer audacity, maybe the sheer risk involved in taming one speaks volumes about their innovative, almost experimental approach.
Experimental.
Yeah.
Or just suicidal.
Was it an attempt to gain a unique asset? A powerful bodyguard? Or maybe a desperate measure to avoid a bloody fight they couldn't win? The shifty fella's blunt assessment suggests it wasn't some clean magical charm, probably a perilous, messy business that tested their limits. Blurring the lines between daring innovation and reckless abandon, wouldn't you say?
Reckless abandon sounds about right.
It highlights their willingness to take unconventional risks for potentially great rewards, though.
Sounds like they got lucky, more like it. But a fierce bodyguard. I suppose that has its uses. If it doesn't eat you first. Still, an owlbear is an owlbear. Can't trust him. Never.
Perhaps even more memorable and certainly more visually striking was the climb to the observatory. During this ascent, Cardus, the dwarf paladin...
You made a dwarf. What do you do?
He made a truly legendary rope climb in nothing but his boxer shorts.
Bursts out laughing. No, in his small clothes.
That's what the record says. It's an anecdote that Yasid apparently insisted on, including in his meticulously detailed accounts. Suggests it was a moment of profound, if maybe embarrassing, camaraderie and heroism. Can you imagine the scene? A paladin climbing with such devout determination, unburdened by armor, driven by purpose, in his boxers.
Now that's a story I can get behind. Cardus, you mad dwarf. Bare-chested and determined. That's how a paladin should face a challenge. Yasid including that. Maybe he's got a sense of humor after all that tiefling, for all his creepiness. That's the kind of tale that gets spun in taverns for sure. Proper spirit, that. Love it.
The entire Stormwreck Isle saga culminated in an epic final battle in the observatory against the formidable Blue Dragon Sparkrender who had sworn to destroy Elder Runara, the bronze dragon leader.
Oh, the big boss fight. A blue dragon, nasty.
And this wasn't just a clash of steel and spell. Trafalgar, the bard, played a pivotal role.
The bard again. What, did he sing it to death?
Almost. His melody, apparently a masterpiece of arcane artistry and emotional resonance, struck the dragon deeper than any blade ever could. It momentarily disrupted its will, its focus, allowing the team to gain the upper hand.
Oh, music hitting a dragon hard. Didn't think they cared for tunes.
Well, this one did. In the end, they successfully returned Mila's kobold brothers, Mech and Min, unharmed, showcasing not only their combat prowess, but their commitment to those they allied with, keeping their promises. It was a true hero's tale, a testament to their combined strengths.
All right. Save the kobolds, beat the dragon. Even the bard did something useful. Sounds like a proper end to a saga.
And what does all this daring adventuring mean for them financially, you might ask? Thinking back to Yasid, the treasurer.
Ah, yes, the gold. Always comes down to the gold, doesn't it?
Well, Treasurer Yasid's meticulous report highlights their incredibly solid financial standing, especially for such a young group. They pulled in a remarkable 1,700 gold coins in direct revenue, selling loot, completing missions for patrons.
1,700 gold. That's a good haul, that is.
Yeah.
Proper payday.
Plus, an estimated 600 gold in non-monetary finds. Rare gems, intricate jewelry, masterwork weapons, sturdy armor, things they either use or convert to liquid assets.
So over 2,000 gold total value from one big adventure. Not bad. Not bad at all.
That's a truly tidy sum, especially after a single saga. What does that kind of financial success mean for an adventuring group, practically speaking?
It means everything, doesn't it? Gold speaks louder than fancy words, always. It means they can re-equip properly, buy better potions, maybe even hire a few extra hands when a job calls for it, get the best gear.
Right, better resources.
More importantly, it means they can pick and choose their jobs. They don't have to take every desperate plea that comes scraping at the door just to pay for dinner. They can aim higher, go for the bigger scores, the more important quests. That's power, that is. Financial independence.
Indeed. And all of this demonstrable success has rapidly given them a growing reputation. Their stories, often probably embellished by bards like Trafalgar, then recounted with fervor in taverns across the realms. They're spreading like wildfire.
Tavern tales. Best advertising there is.
As a direct result, adventurers with gold-hungry hearts, or those maybe seeking a more organized path to glory, are actively seeking opportunities to join this ambitious troupe. They're definitely making a name for themselves and attracting serious talent.
Popularity. Can be good, can be bad. Attracts attention, not always the good kind.
So what's their shtick?
What truly sets the Expeditionsgesellschaft der Vergessenen Reiche apart? From our sources, it really feels like they're more akin to a sophisticated startup from, say, Waterdeep than just, well, your dad's adventure group who meet by chance in a tavern, eh?
Aye, that's it. Startup. All organized. Too organized for my liking, perhaps. Take some of the spontaneity out of a good brawl, the fun of just seeing what happens. But you can't deny they get results, they're structured.
That distinction brings us directly to their strategic brand management. It's not just about wealth. Their explicit goal is fame and prestige.
Ah, the glory bit. To be sung about by bards, recounted in taverns, ensuring their legacy lasts. And they're certainly not above a little, well, embellishment to polish that image.
Embellishment? You mean lying, don't you?
Uh-huh.
Well, you had some particularly strong feelings about Cardus's Firebeard origin story, didn't you? Tell us the truth, the unvarnished version you heard.
Strong feelings is an understatement. That's corporate image polish if ever I heard it. Absolute nonsense they spin. The truth, right. From what I've heard from a few reliable tavern gossips, the sort who know things, it's a bit more embarrassing.
Go on.
Cardus, good dwarf that he is, apparently fell asleep next to a candle after too much ale. After a particularly rowdy night out, yeah. Woke up with his precious beard on fire.
No, his beard.
Aye. The healers could mend his singed face, patch him up fine, but not his magnificent beard. Gone. He supposedly wears the name Firebeard now as penance. A humble reminder of his carelessness with drinking candles, not some heroic dragon fight. Wow, okay, that's quite different from the official story. And here's where Trafalgar, the bard and astute strategist, stepped in, truly earning his title, wouldn't you say?
Earned his title as a liar, maybe?
He recognized the incredible potential for brand management in that mishap, a hero who nobly lost his beard fighting a fearsome dragon. That sounds infinitely more appealing, more inspiring than a dwarf who accidentally lit himself on fire after one too many pints.
It's dishonest.
But think about it. This isn't just a funny story about Cardus's beard. It's a profound look into how reputation, especially for adventurers who rely on public perception for work and renown, can be manufactured. Are adventurers becoming more like celebrities, needing publicists, rather than just heroes doing good deeds?
Aye, it's a slippery slope in it. People want a legend, not the messy truth. They want the shiny story. It's all about the show these days, not the substance. Makes you wonder what else they've glossed over or outright invented to make themselves look good. It's not honest, that. But I suppose in this day and age, a good story gets you more gold than a bloody axe sometimes, sadly.
And Trafalgar himself comes from a venerable noble family, the Newgates. Their ancient motto is Custos Portae, means keeper of the gate.
Keeper of the gate. Sounds important.
Their coat of arms even features symbolic elements. A raven for knowledge, a key for secrets, and a fortress wall signifying defense and strategic positioning. This lineage clearly shows a history of strategic thinking, maybe even business acumen, which Trafalgar is certainly putting to masterful use, blending his family's legacy of foresight with his bardic charisma to lead this unique enterprise.
Noble family.
Yeah.
Figures. Probably bankrolled the whole thing to start with.
But it's not just about branding and image. Their association agreement spells out a truly corporate-level organization. Goes far beyond any traditional adventuring guild charter I've ever heard of.
More paperwork. Joy.
It details provisions for admitting new members, setting clear standards and expectations. It also outlines order acceptance with specific preferential terms, discounts, or access to specialized resources for their members. What do you think preferential terms and specialized resources might mean for an adventurer looking to join?
Preferential terms. Sounds like something a merchant guild would offer, yeah. Yeah. Not adventurers. But for a fighter, maybe it means access to master-crafted weapons at a discount. Special training from a veteran member. That'd be handy.
Useful perks.
Specialized resources. Maybe a dedicated healer always on call. or a scout with unique skills they can borrow, or even a proper map maker, not just some scrawled napkin, things you wouldn't get just knocking about on your own trying to scrape by. It sounds tempting, I admit, if you like that sort of thing.
It certainly adds an incentive. The agreement also meticulously outlines membership fees showing their sustainable financial model and, importantly, a clear structure for profit distribution.
Splitting the loot. Always tricky. How do they manage that?
After deduction of expenses and provisions for future endeavors, profits are divided among members based on a majority-decided distribution key.
Majority-decided key.
Yeah.
So they vote on who gets what share.
Exactly. This majority-decided key isn't just bureaucratic jargon. It's a revolutionary way to handle the notoriously contentious issue of loot distribution. No more arguments over who deserves the magic sword or who found the biggest gem.
Stop a lot of arguments, that. I've seen more parties break up over who gets the shiny bits than over any dragon's treasure hoard. Stabbed in the back for a magic ring. Happens.
It implies a system where collective contribution, risk, maybe even individual needs are weighed and decided upon democratically. Moving beyond simple finders keepers or equal splits that don't always feel fair, it fosters transparency and collaboration. A stark contrast to the backstabbing over treasure common in less organized groups. And speaking of incentives, the agreement even includes specific provisions for danger pay and bonuses for heroic or charitable activities that go above and beyond the mission's requirements.
Danger pay. I just get paid for smashing things. Bonuses for charity. What's charitable about adventuring beyond just, clearing out monsters so folks don't get eaten? Seems odd.
It acknowledges the extraordinary risks and potential for selfless acts unique to adventuring. But even more remarkably, they also offer comprehensive health insurance, covers injuries, illnesses sustained in the field.
Health insurance.
Yeah.
For adventurers. Seriously.
And even legal protection and liability insurance. This covers claims arising from villains, creatures, devils, and similar beings during their activities.
Liability insurance. Against devils. How does that even work?
Think about it. This liability insurance isn't just for grumpy goblins trying to sue for property damage, though I suppose that's covered too. It means if one of your thunderous charges accidentally collapses a merchant's stall, or a stray spell sets fire to an inn during a fight.
Happens. Oops.
The society shoulders that financial burden. It protects individual members from ruinous lawsuits or angry mobs demanding compensation. This frees up adventurers to take bolder actions knowing they're backed. It significantly reduces the personal risk that traditionally plagues our profession. It makes adventuring a viable, long-term career, not just a risky gamble you might not survive.
Scoffs, but with a hint of grudging admiration. Legal protection from goblins. What will they think of next? But I suppose not having to worry about paying for a new roof after you've saved a village. Just being sensible, isn't it? I mean, you can focus on the fight, not the paperwork afterwards, or running away before the bill arrives.
Exactly. They also have transparent cost rates for buying and repairing equipment, and ensure equitable cost of living accommodation, food. This specifically considers religious, health, or personal preferences.
So the paladin gets his holy water, the mage gets her fancy herbs.
But with the sensible caveat, without exceeding what is necessary. So no luxury tents unless the mission genuinely requires it, Thunder Mace. Plus, a strict confidentiality clause and penalties for behavior detrimental to the club. This is truly a full-service, highly professional adventuring operation.
Professional. Or just bureaucratic hell.
And their exploits aren't just random acts of heroism. They're demonstrably calculated, strategic. For example, their infiltration of the Naren Crony nightclub in Neverwinter wasn't just for a night out.
Ugh. Yes, the Naren Crony. I seem to remember that night. Or rather, I don't remember much of it at all.
Smiling slightly.
Far too much of their special spice ale. Lethal stuff. But I do recall Trafalgar being very busy talking to people looking important, and that shifty fella, moving like a shadow through the crowd. Definitely up to something.
Well, it was a strategic maneuver designed to gain specific access to the Academy of Magic. For information, for context.
Academy access. Through a nightclub. Weird plan.
They also demonstrated shrewd negotiation skills. Trafalgar successfully negotiated an additional reward of 5 gold coins for each goblin killed from Gundren Rockseeker for that Phandalin mission.
5 gold per goblin. Good rate. Gundren must have been desperate.
That's thinking like a business, eh? Incentivizing performance, maximizing returns beyond just a flat fee. And Trafalgar even carries a special crossbow made by Mila, that winged kobold tinkerer from Dragon's Rest.
The kobold tinkerer. So they kept that contact.
It indicates strategic alliances, resourcefulness, a direct result of their network building back on Stormwreck Isle. It's all very interconnected, a testament to their long-term vision.
Long-term vision, or just lucky connections.
So you've had some truly personal dealings with this company, haven't you? Not just bumping into them at the Nair and Crony. What's your candid perspective on them, given your experiences?
I have, and I'm quite happy with my personal dealings, actually. Remember that wolf trouble on your parents' farm? The one causing havoc with the livestock? Big problem.
Oh, yeah. Sorry about that whole situation. It was rather tricky, and I was still figuring out how to handle it with my studies and, well, everything.
Tricky, she says. Your parents' farm. Wolves causing a ruckus, eating sheep. And you didn't even mention it to me. Your friend. From the Academy of Fighters. We fight things. It's what we do.
I know. I'm sorry. I was going to.
Luckily for you and your family's sheep, the Expeditionary Society, through some contact or other, heard about it and passed the job on to me. Me and a few other students from the Academy. Sorted those wolves out right quick, we did. Proper job, minimal fuss.
Oh, wow, they did. I didn't know they passed it to you specifically. Thank you. And thank them, I suppose.
Thanks for that, Expeditionary Society. But I'm still a bit worried about this corporate aspect of theirs. It's all a bit too polished for my liking. Too much paperwork for good scrap. Needs more grit.
Mm-hmm.
And Trafalgar. He's a bit of a knob, that one. Always with the smooth talk, the fancy words. Makes my teeth itch. I remember Cardis, good dwarf that he is, even defeated me in arm wrestling and drinking contest at the Nair and Crony that night, which is saying something. So point to Cardis there. Tough old dwarf.
Oh, he's quite strong, our Cardis. And certainly a formidable drinker, I hear. Even beat you. Impressive.
And that story about his beard catching fire. I always suspected it was just corporate image polish, and you just confirmed it. Knew it. See, that's what I mean. All shine and no substance sometimes. Makes you question everything else they say.
Yeah, that's a fair point.
And Yasid's powers. All that djinn stuff, the void. It just ain't right. Makes my skin crawl. There's a darkness there I don't trust. Not one bit.
It is. Unconventional power.
As for the Narenkron, well, like I said, I can't remember much about that night. Far too much of that strong ale. Everything's a blur. But I'm glad the wolves are gone from your folks' place. That's the main thing.
Blushing slightly, then collecting herself. Oh, sorry. About that night, I mean. It was certainly an experience for everyone involved, I think. As for my own dealings with the company, well, I'm a bit reluctant to talk about them, if you don't mind.
Secrets?
Especially about certain details surrounding a recent final exam at the Academy. Let's just say that the details are unknown to most, but the shifty fella demonstrated his particular skills in a most, well, unconventional manner here.
Muttering, a knowing look on her face. Forgery, probably. Sneaky halfling. Always up to no good, those rogues. Knew it.
And it all worked out for the best. For me, anyway. And it did allow the Expeditionary Society to gain critical access to the Academy's restricted library archives to learn more about Yasid's unique Sorcerer's Pact, which was their ulterior motive for getting into the Academy in the first place, so.
From a strategic standpoint, it was a win-win situation.
Right. Win-win.
Sounds like you got away with something thanks to a cheat.
Despite any personal reservations I might have about certain methods, I am very much a fan of the group's overall approach. I genuinely admire their Arcane Alliance-style efficiency and strategic thinking. It's impressive.
If you like that sort of thing.
The success of the Shifty Fella and Yasid in obtaining crucial information about the Jinn Pact and their assistance with the exam, it was quite impressive, objectively speaking. Though I must admit, I do have a personal dislike for rogues in general.
Can't blame you there.
I mean, they often stab wizards in the butts in ambushes, and that's just profoundly uncool, isn't it? So unfair. So, the Shifty Fella still strikes me as a prickly fella, quite secretive, especially given his past connection to the Thieves Guild. It always makes me a bit wary. You never know, eh?
Rogues are shifty, like I said. Best not to trust them too much. Always got an eye on your coin purse and a knife ready for a quick exit. Or for your back. A wizard's butt is probably the least of your worries with a proper rogue about. Watch yourself.
So, after this deep dive, how do we rate them? Let's talk pros and cons for this Expeditionary Society. What's the final tally?
Right, weighing it up.
On the upside, they are incredibly highly organized, which is a huge benefit in a chaotic world, you have to admit. They're demonstrably financially stable with those impressive reports from Yasid. Serious gold.
Gold helps. Organization helps sometimes.
They have clear strategic goals. Exploration, wealth, and that all-important fame they crave. Their members are diverse and incredibly skilled, truly combining magic, cunning, and good old brawn effectively.
Yeah, the team works, yeah. got different strengths.
They use innovative problem solving, like bypassing defenses with illusions, or that truly wild feat of taming an owlbear, taking risks, and they have that strong internal support system, all that insurance, welfare. It's really forward-thinking. Ensures member retention, keeps people loyal.
The insurance is sensible, I'll give them that. Keeps fighters fighting.
Ultimately, they're incredibly effective at achieving their objectives and creating a sustainable adventuring model. They get results.
So all that's true, I suppose. They get things done, and they seem to have a lot of gold to show for it, which counts for a lot. They're a professional outfit, you can't deny that. Disciplined.
But there are cons, aren't there? This overt corporate approach. It might dilute the traditional free-spirited nature of adventuring. It's not always about spontaneous heroism anymore, is it? More like fulfilling contractual obligations.
Takes the fun out of it sometimes. All rules and reports.
Then there's the extreme secrecy and the undeniably spiky past of the shifty fella, that connection to the Thieves Guild. That could definitely pose significant risks for the entire group down the line. A ticking time bomb, potentially.
Risks indeed. Big risks. Guilds don't forget easily, and they don't forgive quickly. That's a serious vulnerability for the whole outfit, that is. Trouble comes knocking when you least expect it, especially from thieves. Bad business.
And the image polishing, like with Cardus's beard story, it could certainly be seen as deceptive. Makes you wonder what else they're not being entirely truthful about, right? Creating a veneer that hides the true origins of their success or their members' past, how much is real?
Exactly. All smoke and mirrors makes you distrust the whole lot of them.
And of course, Yasid's powers. They could be unsettling for some, maybe even unpredictable, with the potential for unforeseen consequences. Drawing on the void. Genie packs.
Creepy, I tell ya. Not trustworthy. That kind of magic usually comes with a heavy price down the line. And who ends up paying it? Probably the ones who aren't in on the dark packs. The grunts on the front line, like Cardus. Or maybe even the whole realms.
So for our final verdict, on a scale of 1 to 10 points, what's your rating for the Expeditionary Society of the Forgotten Realms? Taking it all in.
Okay. They got gold, they got strength. Cardus seems solid, and they sorted out your wolf problem, which I appreciate someone did.
Yeah.
But all that corporate nonsense, the shifty fellow lurking about, Yasid's creepiness and that Trafalgar, bit too much smooth talk for my liking. Too polished. I'd give them a solid 7. Yeah, 7 out of 10. They get the job done, and they're smart about it, but they could do with a bit more straightforward smashing and a little less fuss. More honesty.
Okay, a 7 from you. Fair enough, reflecting your pragmatic outlook. For me, I'm genuinely impressed by their strategic organization and their remarkable ability to blend such diverse skills, much like the Arcane Alliance tries to do, but on a grander, more structured scale, maybe.
If you like structure.
The financial stability and the comprehensive member welfare are truly innovative for an adventuring group, making heroism a potentially sustainable career, not just a gamble. While I do have reservations about the shifty fella's past and the occasional image crafting with the beard and all, the overall effectiveness, the vision, the pioneering spirit, it's truly remarkable. I'd give them an 8.5.
8.5.
Generous.
They're genuinely changing the game, I think. Charting a new course for what it means to be an adventurer in the realms, making it more robust and sustainable, maybe even more impactful in the long run. All right, time for some magic mail, everyone. Let's see what you folks out there are thinking about this fascinating new model of adventuring. First up, we have Orion Sterling, who writes, "Where's the romance in adventure? Not everything has to be planned down to the last detail. The world of the Forgotten Realms is too wild and its inhabitants too diverse for such a structured form of adventuring to be able to replace the individual passion of heroes' hearts in the long term."
Romance. Adventures about survival, mostly. And gold. What's fascinating here is that I completely understand your sentiment, Orion Sterling. That romantic ideal, the wild call of the open road, the spontaneous acts of heroism, that's undeniably appealing, eh? It's a core part of adventuring lore. But I think the Expeditionary Society might actually find surprising balance.
Balance, or
Yep.
bureaucracy.
Their structure helps them tackle larger, more complex, often more impactful challenges. Things individual heroes, no matter how passionate, might struggle with alone. Think bigger quests, ancient ruins needing serious logistics. This can lead to even grander adventures and discoveries, shaping the realms in ways a single hero simply couldn't. It's not about replacing individual passion, but perhaps channeling it more effectively, giving it a larger canvas on which to perform, wouldn't you say? More resources, more support, bigger impact.
Maybe. If they don't get bogged down in meetings.
Next, Thunder Mace sent in a magic mail saying, "Wacky nonsense, liberal left at it again. Do I have to bring my ranger a luxury tent now, too? Wokeness gone mad, I say.
Wacky nonsense indeed. But not in the way you think, Thunder Mace. That's just being sensible, isn't it? The association agreement, if you actually bother to read it, simply states every member has an equal right to accommodation and food. And yeah, they consider religious, health, or personal preferences. Fine. But it explicitly says it's without exceeding what is necessary.
Exactly, key phrase.
So no, your ranger doesn't need a luxury tent unless it's strictly necessary for the mission, like warding off extreme cold in Icewind Dale, or providing vital medical care in the field. It's about basic fair treatment, making sure everyone is fit for the job, not freezing or starving. It's not extravagance, it's practical support, so they can focus on saving lives, not worrying about where their next meal comes from or catching frostbite through the night because someone cheaped out on blankets. It's just smart management. Keeps your fighters fighting fit.
Absolutely. It's practical support ensuring everyone is well-equipped and cared for so they can perform at their absolute best, minimizing preventable risks. It's not some over-the-top indulgence, but a strategic investment in their most valuable assets, their members, their people. It just makes good business sense and good ethical sense for long-term success and keeping good adventurers around. Okay, our next magic mail is from Scribbler, who writes, I think this expedition company is a fine idea in principle, but will never catch on.
Never catch on. Well, Scribbler, you might be wrong there, mate. Our sources say they already enjoy a growing reputation, don't they? Their stories are told in taverns, far and wide. People are talking.
That's right.
Adventurers, even those greedy ones with gold-hungry hearts, are already actively seeking opportunities to join this ambitious troop. So it sounds like it is catching on, isn't it? People want a bit of stability in an unstable world. And a company that protects its assets, that means its adventurers, and pays well. That's a strong draw. Especially if you're tired of sleeping in ditches and hoping your leader doesn't run off with the loot.
Definitely. It seems like the traditional chaotic adventuring model might indeed be evolving, and this society is right at the forefront. And Prophet Prince sent in this magic mail. Profit distribution through membership determination. What nonsense. The entrepreneurial risk clearly lies with the investor in every adventure.
Ah, the investor. Usually some fat noble sitting safe at home, eh?
What's fascinating here is that the association agreement sets up a fundamentally different model entirely. It's not a traditional investor-driven model where some outside patron takes most of the profit for putting up the initial gold. It's a collaborative one.
Collaborative. How so?
It states that profits are distributed among members after deduction of expenses and provisions based on that majority-decided distribution key. It also includes specific provisions for danger pay and bonuses. Here, the members are the investors in a very real and profound way. They're investing their time, their unique skills, their very lives. They face extreme risks every day.
Aye, we risk our necks, not just our coin purses.
So, a system that acknowledges this profound investment and distributes profits equitably, decided by the collective, makes perfect sense within their framework. It's a recognition that their human capital, their adventurers, are their most valuable asset, not just hired swords.
Aye, they're putting their necks on the line, so they should get a fair share. Makes sense to me. No risk, no reward, and these folk are taking all the risk. The investor back home isn't dodging dragonfire, are they?
And finally, we have a very special magic mail from Mama Wildshape. Oh, Mama, she says, thank you, Arn, for chasing away the wolves. I think Arn and Cree can take a leaf out of this expedition's book, even though I wish Cree would take a permanent position as a court magician. Twice-baked harvest squash with gooey cheese on Sunday. Arn is welcome too. Love and kisses.
Oh, thanks, Mama Wildshape. Glad to help out. Sorted those wolves out right quick, I did. Always happy to keep the peace, especially for good folk like you and your daughter here. And twice-baked harvest squash with gooey cheese. Sounds proper good there. Count me in, I'll be there. What time?
Blushing, but with a wide smile. Oh, Mama, that's so sweet and so thoughtful. And thank you for the dinner invitation. I know you'd absolutely love it. As for a permanent position as a court magician, au contraire, Mama. Perhaps later in my illustrious career, eh? But for now, the call of the unknown, the thrill of discovery, and the magic of sharing these deep dives with our listeners is far too strong to resist.
Good lass. Court magician sounds boring anyway. No smashing involved.
But I'll certainly consider taking a leaf out of the Expeditionary Society's book. Always learning, always improving. Right. Thank you, Mama. Love you.
Well, you've heard all about the Expeditionary Society of the Forgotten Realms, a truly fascinating blend of daring adventure and astute, forward-thinking business practices. If you enjoyed this deep dive, found it enlightening, or simply had a good chuckle at our spirited debate,
Yeah, banter.
make sure to like and subscribe, join our magical network, or simply drop a coin into a light crystal to support Academy Live. It truly helps us bring you more of these in-depth explorations and continues our mission to keep you well informed. We appreciate every single one of you, don't we? Your support means we can keep digging into this stuff. Keep the lights on, as they say, or the crystals glowing.
And before we go, here's a little teaser for next time. We'll be back in Neverwinter Academies with your next semester survival guide, deadlines, new teachers, dorms, parties, and social events. The fun stuff.
Ah, the fun stuff. And the annoying stuff.
Summer break ends sooner than you think, and whether you're fighters, bards, or magic folks, we've got you covered with everything you need to know to survive and thrive in the upcoming term. Tips, tricks, maybe some warnings?
Don't drink the punch at the welcome party. Trust me.
Laughs.
Okay.
Maybe that too. So you've seen how the Expeditionary Society is expertly blending the raw thrill of adventuring with the shrewdness and sustainability of a well-run business. This deep dive makes you wonder, doesn't it? Is this structured corporate approach the inevitable future of heroism and exploration in the realms, offering greater impact, better rewards, more stability? Or does formalizing adventure risk losing some of its intrinsic magic, its spontaneity, that individual, untamed passion that defines so many legends?
Structure versus chaos, eh? The eternal question.
What's your take? Would you sign up for an adventure contract, complete with insurance and profit sharing and maybe even a retirement plan? Or does the wild call of the open road, with all its unpredictable glory and very real peril, resonate more with your own adventuring spirit? Think about it, and we'll see you next time on The Deep Dive.